Hello, welcome to the Power of God Broadcasting TV Network Woman to Woman channel. This is our Woman to Woman show that will air every Saturday at 2 p.m. This is Lady Christine Foster, and I'm so glad to be with you all today. I'm looking forward to what God is going to be doing throughout this 2022 new year. Yes, I said new year. So we're looking for new things. And we definitely have some new women that we're bringing on our broadcast to encourage you and to uplift you. This is the reason why we're here. We want to encourage everybody that's out there, all the ladies that are trying to do something with their lives, that have destiny locked up inside of you. We want to encourage you and let you know that you can do it. I have a sign on my desk that says, "This girl can." And I believe that we can. We can do anything that we put our minds and hearts to. And this is why we come to the forefront every Saturday with Woman to Woman, to encourage you and let you know that you can do the same. Today, it gives me great honor and privilege to have our special guest with us today. I am going to read a little of her bio and tell you who she is. Marsha Williams is a wife, mother, author, minister, and speaker. Owner of the brand Mothers in Ministry since 2014. She believes in allowing God to be the forefront of all she does. Above everything, she is a product of what it is to live in pursuit of God. She does not only teach what it means to live in pursuit of the things of God, but embodies that through her everyday life. She diligently creates content and material for personal and spiritual development. Her greatest joy in life is simply watching people leave her presence, feeling encouraged and inspired to do the same. So we ask you all to join with us as we welcome to the TV network Woman to Woman's channel, Marsha Williams. How are you, Marsha?
I'm well. I'm well. Thank you so much for having me.
We are so glad just to have you. I'm thankful that you decided to be a part of our network and join us today. And the ladies, I know that they're really going to enjoy you and your ministry as we begin to share and talk about the things that you're doing. For those that don't know Marsha, where are you based out of?
So I'm here on the Eastern Shore, in Salisbury, but I'm originally from the Western Shore, Prince George's County is where I'm originally from.
Okay. All right. And Marsha's ministry is vast, as we were reading her bio, but one of the main things that drew me to her, I met her at a conference that I went to, and her ministry is Mothers in Ministry. And I was like, wow, Mothers in Ministry. Okay, tell me a little bit about that, because I raised 9 children, and I understand trying to, wear all of the hats and do what you feel that you're called to do in ministry. So tell us, Marsha, how you got started with this, where this birthed from.
Yeah, so this birth from a place of me knowing that God called me for more than just motherhood, but really trying to balance the two. I wanted to serve God, I wanted to serve in ministry, I wanted to pursue my goals and my dreams, but I said, God, not at the sake of my children. And so I
Right.
remember being in my early 20s saying, God, what did you create me for? What is my purpose? Why am I here? And one night riding in my car, I heard the Spirit of the Lord whisper, Mothers in Ministry. And so God in that moment was encouraging me like, hey, you can do both. You can serve in motherhood and you can serve in ministry. You don't have to give up one for the other. So I've just been developing this brand since, as you read, 2014.
Awesome. And not only have you been developing this brand, for those that may be listening, Marsha also has a book entitled Mothers in Ministry. Mothers in Ministry. It's a beautiful book. I have started reading it. If you have not gotten her book yet, or maybe probably weren't even aware that it existed, Mothers in Ministry, where can they find your book, Marsha?
Yes, so all of my books are available on Amazon, or if anybody contacts me directly, I always keep copies on hand. But the quickest way to get a copy of the book is to just go ahead and head over to Amazon.
Okay, Amazon.com.
Yeah.
Amazon, Amazon is a big on a lot of things. So most of
Yes.
us know about shopping and getting things off of Amazon. So you can do that right from the comfort of your home, sitting in your car. Download the book Mothers in Ministry. I was reading here on the back of your book that it says Mothers in Ministry is a ministry that teaches mothers to move from dreaming to actually birthing out their vision. And I think that's a lot of times where many of us find ourselves, that you have the dreams of things that you want to do, but then you also have the awesome ministry and responsibility that we have of raising our kids, and some of us being wives as well.
Yeah.
That also often takes precedent over what we're trying to do. So you said you didn't want to necessarily balance, but learn how to do all. So share with us where that started with you.
Yes. So when I first developed the ministry, of course, I thought it was about balance. I'm going to balance all of this. And I quickly learned that it's not about balancing at all. It's about harmony. It's about allowing everything to flow together. And so the way I did that was I wanted my children to know what I was doing. I wanted them to know what my business was about. If I had to go away for events, I wanted them to know, what is mom doing? And so I would bring my children to my events. I would bring them to help me set up for events. I just let them be a part of the brand that I was building, and my children begin to learn. Mom, do you have a client? Are you coaching today? So they begin to grow with my brand and with my business because I allowed them to flow in harmony with everything that I was working on, whether it was working on a new book, or to this day my sons will see me at my laptop and say, are you working on a sermon? Do you have to preach? um, so I wanted to create a space within my business that they too could feel a part of and just know what was going on.
Right. And that's awesome, because we do have to include our family, our
Hmm.
kids, letting them to know what it is that you are doing, so that hopefully they understand, because the ultimate goal is not to have our children uh, regret or dread what we're doing, because it takes away from them. So you have to have that involvement, and then that balance of knowing where, there's time for this and time for that. And now it's family time as well. So taking a lot of time when I used to do some things, I would take my kids out with me in ministry or whatever it was I was going to be doing. And then afterwards, we would do something that was fun for us, as a family. Afterwards, we do the ministry, and then we would go do something else. So do you incorporate things like that, like maybe going to Chuck E. Cheese afterwards? Or how old are your kids?
Yeah, so my sons, they're 12 and 9 now, but when the ministry got started, they were younger, about 3 and 5. And
Oh.
so, of course, we did weekly things, whether it was me taking them to the park, or once a month, I made it our business to do our date. So we would go out to dinner. At the time when I was building the brand, I was single. I was newly divorced. And so it was just me and my sons for a while, for a season. And so I made it my business at least once a month. We were going out to dinner, and then we would spend a lot of time at the park or anything, like you said, just to make sure that I gave them the room to still be children.
Right, right. And that's so important, because when it comes to ministry, sometimes, because of the things that we are concerned about, we want to help others so much, and we want to birth out the things that we have in our hearts, that sometimes, the children or other things that we have responsibilities for can go lacking. So definitely, I like the terminology that you use, as far as merging them, or um, having them work in harmony. And that I think is very key to what you have birthed in this ministry, because I watched the day that I saw you. You had a table and you were selling some things. So I know you had your books. Is there anything else that you sell in your business?
Yes. So I also have a t-shirt line, and I've learned to actually I take content from my sermons. So I might preach a
Hmm.
sermon that is popular. People
Right.
might relate to the message, and that
Hmm.
sermon, whether it's something from the sermon or the topic itself, I'll
Hmm.
brand that shirt into content. So I always use content that people are familiar with. So my latest book that I published last year was a prayer journal. I clap back in prayer. And so I
Okay.
branded that into a t-shirt, and it was a really popular shirt being sold. So every now and then, creating shirts just allow me to explore my creativity when I get in the mood.
Right. And that's I think that's so unique because God, he dropped that on me too. I was like, wow, for real, because there are things that God will give you, and he's such a mastermind.
Yes,
My husband and I on our network, we do a show that's called The Power to Get Wealth, and God gives all of us
yes,
power to and things in our hands that will bring us income where we don't necessarily have to work in the corporate world. If we do
yes.
and use the gifts and the abilities and talents that we have, he will show you how to maximize what you have. And he had dropped that same little thought in me, and I was like, wow, I never thought about that. And so it's really neat to be able to take the messages
Mhm.
or something else that God, or just a thought, that he gave you, and put it on a t-shirt, because I don't know why, but we all like wearing t-shirts, and it's really good when we can wear something that resonates to us.
Yeah.
So not only that, Marsha also does minister. She's a worship leader, and I
Mhm.
watched, the Lord use her in the services as well as a powerful worship leader. Just kind of just leading people to God and getting in the right frame of mind. It was awesome. I really enjoyed just being in the presence of God and watching God use another woman in the Lord, another sister in Christ that I felt like we became sisters just that day. I only met you that once, and from this connection brought us here to the TV network today. So, if you had the opportunity, and as you said, you go out and you speak and you do different things of that nature. Just speaking to our listeners today, mothers that are out here that are trying to do something for themselves or for God, and then are feeling that overwhelming, spirit that comes across us sometimes, that, I don't know how I'm gonna get all of this done. What
Mhm.
would you say to encourage them today?
Yeah, so the Lord has been dealing with me over the past 2 years is preparation and prioritizing will take us a long way. I've learned that I don't have to do it all today. I don't have to get it all done today. If we seek the Lord in prayer for wisdom, then He'll give us the strategy on when and what to pursue and in what season. I'm learning to flow with the seasons of God. Some seasons may be a season to build my brand. Other seasons, the Lord deals with me on a personal level where I may not be writing books. I may not be creating content. The Lord is just building me up as an individual. And
Right.
I believe when you stay in the face of God, He'll pour into you so that you can pour the oil into other areas of your life. I want to touch real quick when you were talking about, God gave you and your husband the ability to create wealth.
Yes.
Um, I think it's so important as moms, and this is something that I teach. I create e-courses so that I can coach people digitally that can't, connect with me at a particular time. They can sign up on their own time, but I want mothers and women to understand that God has given each and every one of us a gift and the ability to create wealth and attach wealth to those gifts. And so
Right.
I am a firm believer of multiple streams of income. And so my thing for 2022 has been learn to package your experiences, whether you've gone through divorce, whether you've gone through, climbing the corporate ladder, whatever experiences that you've gone through and you've able to produce fruit, from those
Mhm.
experiences, then ask yourself, how can I package my experience? Do I create an ebook out of this experience? Do I create an e-course out of this experience? And believe that there is an audience waiting to hear from you. A lot of times we get afraid and we think nobody's going to buy my book, or nobody's going to book me as a coach, nobody's going to book me as a speaker. But I want to be the voice today that echoes to you that there is an audience waiting to hear your voice.
Wow, I love that there is an audience that is waiting to hear our voices. Um, there is somebody that's waiting to hear what you, those that are listening have to offer. And a lot of times we get stuck, I think sometimes in comparing ourselves to other people. Maybe I don't speak that eloquently. Uh, you know, like Moses, he was called to do a work, but he was self-conscious about his manner of speaking, and he allowed that thing to kind of hold him back. But that's what we do sometimes. We don't realize that, there is something in us. And I really think that that's something that we as people, period, but we as women have to battle and fight and combat every day and believe, even if it's just that tagline you just used, there is somebody who's waiting to hear your voice. And maybe your voice is not for everybody. Maybe
Right.
your topic is not for everyone, but there is enough that want to hear the topic or that
Yeah.
thing that God has placed in you that will reach. And I really believe that. I really do believe that. I think that is so awesome. If somebody wanted to participate or get into one of your classes, what would they need to do that?
So all of my information is on my website,
Okay.
www.mothersinministry.com. And I've made it so easy. A lot of times we go to websites and there's a lot of clutter and it's like, how do I find what I'm looking for? But over the course of this year, I've been really cleaning up my site so that things are a little bit easier to follow and access and all that. So all of the information, whether it's books or signing up for an e-course, all of that is available on the website.
www.mothersinministry.com.
Yes.
All right. So write that down, guys. www.mothersinministry.com. If you're looking, to attend a class or to learn how to birth what is already inside of you, because many of you already have dreams, many of you already have these ideas that are spinning around in your head, and you're writing them down and in little books and on little sticky notes and things like that, but you haven't actually done anything with them. And I really believe that 2022, this is a year for us to really just make up in our minds that I'm writing my goals. I'm going to attack these things one at a time. And like Sister Marsha said, I agree that, just getting in the presence of God and asking him what his plan is for your life, because he already said that I have a plan. God has already designed a plan for us, and sometimes those plans lead us from where we thought we were supposed to be going, but his plan is always bringing us to success. And so just seeking out the hand of God, seeking the face of God for direction, and allowing him to pour into us. And I like that about the seasons, because we do have seasons of, God will just drop word in you and he'll tell you, this is what I want you to do. And that's all he wants you to do right then, and just allowing him to download those things into us while he is, birthing the new or the next thing, really helps to enhance what you're going to do when you go out. So what's next for you right now? What are you doing, or what would you like to let us know? Maybe you have a conference or a service that's coming up, or maybe another class that's getting ready to happen.
Yeah, so in February 1st, I've just launched what I call the prayer cocoon. So I created a 5-week metamorphosis where 5 different women will come. It's a Zoom platform, but 5 different women will come and they will speak to a different topic. And all of the topics are pulled from the I Clap Back in Prayer journal. But I created a safe space for women to come, and we'll be talking about how do I have a healthy relationship with myself first, How do
Right.
I have a healthy relationship with others? How do I pray about my health? How do I pray concerning my finances? And then finally, we'll be talking about the fulfilled place. Where is my Eden? God, I know you created me for purpose. I know you called me to subdue. I know you told me to have dominion. But where is my Garden of Eden? Where am I supposed to subdue? Where am I supposed to have dominion? So all of this will be starting on February 1st.
Okay.
And I'm so excited because it's free. I
All
want
right.
every woman to be able to enroll and just meet up with us every Tuesday night starting February 1st. Again, it's a safe place, a safe space for women to really talk and share and get the prayer and the insight and the revelation that they need so that they can manifest some things in their life for 2022.
Manifest.
Yes.
That we want to see the manifestation of what's inside,
Yes.
inside of each woman, what's inside of you, what's inside of me, maybe what's inside of the women that are listening. We're hoping that you all are gleaning from what is being said today, because woman to woman is all about women talking to other women about the things that we struggle with at large. And it has nothing to do with race, because women have the same problems, the same dreams, different aspirations. We have all of those things in common, no matter what our nationality is, no matter where we're coming from. Woman to woman, we should be able to help, be those midwives and pull from each other and to encourage each other to be what God wants us to be and see it manifest. So I think that is so awesome. Is that every Tuesday night in just February, or is there an end date, or is it just for the month of February?
Yeah, so it ends on March 1st, so it'll run for 5 weeks, every
5 weeks.
Tuesday starting on February 1st. So from February 1st to March 1st, and we'll log on at 8 p.m. nightly. So women have already started to sign up for this encounter. And so
Mhm.
once everybody signed up, as we get closer to February, I'll send out the Zoom details so that everybody has that information. But I released the flyer today and created the link, and women just started signing up. So I said, if y'all not gonna
Awesome.
waste no time, I'm not either.
That's awesome. I'm glad that the ladies are just signing up. And for those, like I said, that are listening, remember that her website is www.mothersinministry.com. Go on her website. I'm sure the flyer is there, and there's other things, her books and things like that, that you can download and become a supporter of, and also partake of the ministry that God has given Marsha. I think that it's well needed. I believe, and I'm just waiting for all of the other ladies and sisters around the world that the Lord will allow us to come in contact with, through these things, that will also take that initiative and allow God to help them to bring forth those ministries that they have in their heart. I ask you all to stay tuned for this commercial break, and we will be right back. Well, welcome back to Woman to Woman. It's Lady Christine Foster here on Woman to Woman show with our guest today, Marsha Williams, who has written a book and also has a business that she is running under the title of Mothers in Ministry. And we've been talking back and forth about the importance of mothers that have abilities and gifts, things that they know that God is calling them to do, to be able to go out into them. And it's not always just spiritual. There are, just business endeavors that you have inside of you that a lot of times we as women, we put ourselves on the back burner a lot, and our dreams, and we don't, follow after them. We wait sometimes until it seems like it's too late. But I want to encourage you that it's never too late. So Marsha wrote in her book, in one of the chapters I wanted to read, it says, I realized that I couldn't ride or live off the accomplishments of my husband. My name wouldn't be anywhere on his degree. So share with us why you wrote that, Marsha, because some people haven't read your book. So I just want you to share with them why you wrote that.
Yeah, so at the time, I remember my husband being in school, and I was working on his assignments. And so he would probably do one class, and I would, work on his paper for another class. And I remember him coming back saying, I got an A on the paper that you wrote. And I laughed. But in that moment, I realized, I said, well, God, this is nice, but when he graduates, my name won't be anywhere. This isn't going to be a shared degree.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when I began to question, God, what is it in me? And I want to speak really quickly, if I can.
Sure.
To single women, really, really quickly. I got saved at 17, and by 19, I was married with a son. And then, a few years later, another son on the way. And so I remember getting saved. The first thought is you have to stop fornicating. Like, that's the first initial thought. And so unfortunately, we drive marriage as an option for, holiness, or we drive marriage as an option for, sanctification. But I want to speak to single ladies really quickly. Live your life. Don't live in waiting. You're not a woman that's waiting for a marriage. Live your best life now. Travel while you're single. Fill up your passport, write your book, start your business, go buy your house, whatever you desire to do. Because I believe if I had a different mindset at 19, I probably would have done things differently.
Right.
But, God causes all things to work together for our good. But
Yes,
I had to find my way back to me, because at 19, I'm just now becoming a woman. And just now, a few years out of high school, I had no idea who I was or what I wanted to do with my life or the potential that I even had. And so one day I had to ask myself, like, hey, what do you want to do? Apart from raising your beautiful children, what do you want? What does God have for you? So that was where that little nugget came from.
That is, I think that is so important, because I have shared so many times before that sometimes, because of really the way we were created, and it's nothing wrong with it. It's just that the way we were created to be nurturers and givers. We have been created to, be helpmates to our mates. And those are all awesome places for us to be. But a lot of times we end up losing ourselves. So you're understanding that, I needed to do, it's okay to help others to do what they need to do, but you also need to make sure that, as the statement says, that you're true to you, because God has great things in store in you as well. So I'm so glad, Marsha, that you joined us today, and that God is blessing the ministry that you have. I am going to go out and check out your website and the books, the extra books, because I only bought this one, and I'm going to see what else you got out there, as well as, the prayer cocoon that is coming up. So I encourage all of the ladies that are listening to share our broadcasts with everyone. We're not asking you to share so that we can make a name for ourselves. That is not what we're trying to do. We are just trying to share the wealth that is in the world that we all don't know about. We're trying to share the giftings of those that we are coming into contact with, other ladies, other women that have something that's deep down in them that they have birthed and want to share with others, so that we can all move in the right direction and do what God has for us to do. So today, Marsha, I thank you again for joining us. And I hope that you will be encouraged to continue to follow God's vision for your life. Keep in touch with us and let us know what you're doing. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about some other parts of things that you shared with me. And again, my husband and I from the Power of God Broadcasting Network encourage you to continue to do what God has assigned your hands. Be blessed.
Thank you.
We hope each and every one of you have enjoyed the broadcast today and that you will do what we ask. Go out and support Sister Marsha Williams. Her website again is www.mothersinministry.com, where you can find her books and all of the other things that she talked about today, and probably some that she didn't even share. Go out there and become a friend and support another sister in God. We love you all. We pray that you have a blessed day, and tune in next week for Woman to Woman on the Power of God Broadcasting Network.